Hey everyone, and welcome back to Schmindel Schmunlimited, the podcast for reviews, rants, and ramblings about books from our absolute favorite way to get books, the Kindle Unlimited universe. I'm one of your hosts, Amity.
And I'm Lauren.
And I'm Steph. And this week we read My Oxford Year by Julia Wieland. Before we get into this book, let's talk about how is everyone's week going? What are you guys reading or watching?
I've had a little book slump.
Oh
Oh, that's so
no.
unlike you. You're normally
I know. I've like
voracious
started
reader.
3 books, gotten 10% and said I hate this and just stopped. So
Good for
I don't
you.
know what to do with myself here.
And you're traveling soon too.
I know. So I don't
Did you
know.
read Weybridge Academy?
No.
I finished it. It was great. You should read that. It's light, it's simple, it's easy.
How many books is it?
3?
Well, if you download it, it's just one long one.
No, I got to do this separate. I need to get
Yeah, I think it's
points
3.
for
I
every
think
book
it's
here.
3.
I went back on Goodreads and added them.
Of course you did.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also, I've been all about this off-campus casting. So you can
are you
go.
following the lore?
Oh yeah, all of them. I'm following all of them because I'm so excited for this. So you could read the rest of those books
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted to, because I know we read the first one for the podcast, but the
Mhm.
rest are as good. So that could be something.
Guys, the TBR just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. And I don't think I ever check anything off because I just add more to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's same all the time. But that's always a fun. I've been like my whole TikTok, Instagram has been all about it. The off campus, who got casted.
Your algorithm
The
is
algorithm, yeah.
working
Do we
overtime.
like it? Do we not? Why don't they look like the characters and all this stuff? I, for one, love all of the cast and I'm super excited for the TV show.
There's one guy casted that I think he's from the first book, the football player that she wants to impress. He's rumored to be in the Fourth Wing series.
Oh yeah. Well, yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, he's and then the other one is from did you ever watch The Pit?
I've watched one episode.
Okay, so two of an actor and actress are from The Pit.
Oh, well, now I'm gonna pull up.
Brian and I just started The Pit, just finished episode 3. And I remember you saying that, but I haven't looked up which is which. So I'm trying to decide who's potentially young enough to look like they could be in this movie.
Okay.
I love The Pit mainly because of, was it Noah Riley?
Yes, and he was in ER.
Do you remember the librarian movies where?
No.
Oh, they're so good. So he's like this nerdy librarian with like there's magic and there's always like, of course, a really pretty girl, kind of like 007, but he's also kind of nerdy and just really smart. And I always love those movies.
Yeah, okay. No, one of the actresses is a patient on the show.
Oh, okay.
So just be aware.
All right.
So, and the other one is a regular.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked it up. I've just been deciding. I wonder who it's going to be.
Yeah. And Amity, what are you reading?
I just finished Weybridge Academy, the series. I finished it last week. It was very good, and the ending was a little much, but it was good, in the way that kind of endings to series sort of always are, a little jumping of the shark. And then I just don't look up any books myself. I just take you guys' advice. So after I finished that series that you recommended, I began the Veiled Kingdom series that Lauren recommended. And I'm really enjoying that. I started it yesterday. I'm already at 14%. And I didn't feel like I had a lot of time to read. I was just reading fast. I changed the font on my Kindle to
Go on.
the like dyslexic friendly font.
Oh, okay.
Is it helping?
And I scrunched the words together closer. So there's like a lot more on the page. So I can read more faster. I did it when I was trying to finish the book
interesting
for the last podcast really rapidly, but I'm finding I'm reading faster. Like it's definitely easier and my eyes aren't as wandery. Like,
okay.
so I'm not losing my place because I'm going so fast. I really like it. I
So there's more words on the page, but you can read faster because of the dyslexic font?
I so the font is designed, like I don't want to say scientifically proven, but it's got like bold parts on interesting parts of letters that I guess are supposed to
That's so
Oh,
interesting.
help your eyes like
I'm gonna
really
change mine.
differentiate between it. But it made a big difference. Like
What is the name of that font?
great question. Let's find out now. The font is called Open Dyslexic,
Oh, there you go.
Okay. I shall try it.
Yes.
and I've got it with the shortest spacing and the largest margins, so like the most words on the page
Okay,
cool.
got it.
as possible. So, but I really like it. It's been helpful. I was kind of because I feel like I recently had enough awake moments in my life that like I've discovered television. And so I was finding I had less time for reading because I was watching TV. But like
Yeah.
normally I just wasn't enjoying television, like because I could get through a book so much faster than I could get through a TV show. But of course, it's more brain involved to read. I don't know. I was kind of in a weird reading spot where I just wasn't doing as much as rapidly, and that made me kind of sad. So this was a great switch up and made it a little novel again. And I'm getting through stories faster, which is great. Like I'm not writing a book report. I mean, I kind of am because we're talking about it, but
Yeah.
like I'm not, I'm not taking a quiz. I'm not trying to like pass a reading counts test and get my personal pizza. I reward myself with a
Man,
Starbucks
Yeah.
why
instead.
can't that happen in adult life?
I know. I do like that Goodreads tells me how many books over I am my reading challenge. So it makes my goal a little bit like fun to see. I'm like, oh man, I'm 6 books over, 7 books over. So
I need to
Look
get
at me
better
go.
look at
at
me go.
things.
So I have been doing some like rereads of books, so it hasn't counted for Goodreads. So I
True.
might be a little bit behind.
It's okay. We'll forgive you.
So, well, let's get into My Oxford Year by Julia Wayland. This was I read this a while ago, and it is about to be a Netflix movie coming out on August 1st with Sophia Carson playing Ella. And I don't know the name of the actor because I did not see Queen Charlotte.
You didn't
Um,
watch Queen Charlotte?
I did not watch Queen Charlotte.
Well, that's what you need to do this summer.
Yes, I'll add it to my to-do list. But do you know the name of the actress, Amity? Or
No,
actor?
I don't have a clue. I knew him from Queen Charlotte. Quick, um, I know we've talked about Bridgerton before on here. So was it last summer or the summer before that we went to the Bridgerton tea?
Oh,
The
that was
summer, I think it was 2 summers ago now.
yeah.
Summers ago. I'm going to a book club up here and it's Bridgerton tea themed. I'm so excited. I'm doing that on June 1st. So
Whoa. Maybe we read it because is Bridgerton on Kindle Unlimited?
I think so.
I don't know, actually. Bridgerton, I think,
So
is the
maybe
reason I got KU because I spent like $50 on books in 3 weeks. And I was like, this is not sustainable.
Yeah,
So then I
exactly.
got KU. But like, so now I own them so I can reread them.
We should maybe add Bridgerton onto one of our list.
Love it. Let's do it.
So the setting of My Oxford Year is England, and we're introduced to Ella, who's 24 years old. She just arrived to England to study literature.
specifically 1830 to 1914.
So she is a Rhodes Scholar, and she's super excited. This has been something she's wanted to do since she was like 5,
I think 13.
13, or she read about it in a magazine or something.
Yeah, there was an article in like 17 magazine and a girl was studying it abroad at Oxford. She's like, oh, well, I obviously have to do that.
But she is on the quick path to the White House, not as president, but as like a chief of like
Like a
helping.
staffer and age.
Yes, she wrote an article about education, and she is well known.
Like policy and education.
Policy, yeah.
Yes.
The importance of keeping the arts in education to close the
Yes.
achievement gap. I loved it so much.
So while she's in line at customs at the airport, like just landed from the US, she gets a call from the former White House chief of staff. His first name is Gavin, and he's now working with a presidential candidate named Janet Wilkes. She's from Florida. She's a junior senator, a widow. Her husband died in Afghanistan. She's a lawyer and she has 3 kids. And like, she's the dark horse in this.
Presidential campaign.
It was a primary, yeah, between her
Yes.
and the current VP.
Yeah, so Ella's gonna work remotely because she's always wanted to do this. So she's not gonna take the year off. And he's like,
And Gavin
I
was a
think-
Rhodes Scholar, so he like gets it.
yeah,
Mhm.
and he's like, I don't know why I keep thinking June 11th, but he's like, June 11th, you're back and we're
I
getting
think
that's
that's
the
that
date.
was like when she was supposed to be done.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Good
that's the
memory.
date.
So he's like, fine, yes, you can work remotely. Just
Answer my
you have to
phone
be available.
calls, yeah.
Yes. So, Ella's coming from the airport. She has like a weird family life that we don't really know about, but you know, she like gets a text from her mom or an email or something, kind of like rolls her eyes like, ugh.
Not a good family situation.
No.
Yeah, she gets like
Dad-
7 texts back to back from her mom and then like an email or something like, "Are you okay? Is everything still there?"
Mom's so anxious. Her dad died like,
Yeah.
a while back, and
But her
she's-
dad died in a way that I kind of get why her mother's so anxious.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly. So Ella finds her dorm and then she's gonna go get some food and she almost gets hit by a car, which okay, I almost got hit by a car in England.
Well, because they're coming from the opposite
Yeah,
direction.
She went the wrong way.
I almost got hit by one of those like red buses.
Oh, that would
Yes.
have been.
My mom's cousin actually had to pull me out of the road because I did what any American would do, and
You
I
looked to the
looked
left.
left and did not look to my right.
Always look both ways.
Because you never know. So she almost gets hit by this like adorable, cute, really nice convertible Aston Martin with a blonde in the car, and and then the couple just happen to walk in the pub after Ella like goes to get her fish and chips at this pub, and she runs into the guy. She's holding a plate full of condiments for her fish and chips, and it goes all over her, and it happens to be the same guy that almost hit her, and they have this really great banter back and forth. And the guy was like quizzing his date, like about just different things in history, and she's able to accurately tell him when the potato famine was because his date couldn't.
I don't think I could tell when the potato
No.
famine was.
Absolutely not.
His supposed date.
A supposed date, yes. So then she goes to her Rhodes orientation and she misses most of it because she gets a call from Janet Wilkes welcoming her aboard. There happens to be another guy named Connor, also on the phone, missing orientation, who is American, doing his master's in global health and worked in DC as a lobbyist. So she's got someone else there. And I really thought that this was where the story was going at first.
That's where I thought too.
And it doesn't, because then we jump to her first class, which is Professor Roberta Stan, and that's who she was so excited.
And that's why she picked literature, was to
Yes.
be with this professor. But unfortunately, the professor is too busy.
So one of her research fellows is going to do it, named by Jamie Davenport. He's a third-year postdoc, and it's the same guy that almost hit Ella.
Okay, so Amity, I gotta ask. You
Yeah.
are not usually a fan of a teacher-student relationship. What did you think about this one?
You know, this didn't bother me. I guess maybe because they like addressed that she was uncomfortable with it and they were kind of like, it's just whatever over here and like all okay. And age-wise, it was fine.
Yeah.
Like I remember I should finish the story real fast. When I was getting my doctorate, like my professors were similar, like some of them were similar in age to me. And I remember thinking, oh, we could be friends. Like we had things in common. We could reference pop culture things and they would get it and not in like a he, like a middle school teacher who's like, I also listen to the rap music, but like a genuine, like we were both into the same things. So I didn't post grad, it did not bother me.
Okay, so this one it wasn't. It was
No.
you were okay with
In
this
fact,
one.
I didn't realize that it didn't bother me until you just said something.
No, because I know how you feel about that.
Mhm.
So, okay, back to the story. So,
Do turns out Jamie's actually a very good teacher and he's leading this awesome discussion. And Ella's like, well, I'm very out of place with a bunch of English scholars at Oxford.
Because it is very
But she does get 2
discussion-y.
questions right, and they happen to be like history questions and dates.
I would definitely be out of like a fish out of water.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? I would rock at this. I don't need any details. You're just going on like the vibes of what I was getting.
Oh,
Like,
Amity's got you.
yeah, it's like this is perfect. Like, I don't know, they were eating something at some time and it was a long time ago, but here's how I felt about it. Like, I was like, maybe I'll be a Rhodes Scholar. I literally was like, this is so fun. I want to go to school and just talk about it this way. I loved it so
Right.
much.
What will I be able to do with it after? No idea.
Also, like, do they get grades? Because it didn't seem like they got grades or anything. Is it just like, hey, you studied a year and you like did
Yeah.
the thing?
You get
And
Yeah.
credit. You pass the vibe check and you get credit.
yeah, exactly. Like, you don't get a certificate or anything. Like,
I
do you get a jacket that says like Rhodes Scholar on the back?
And you get to put it on your resume. And
Yeah.
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 it's probably one
Get
of
a
those
little
things like, you
tattoo.
know how they say that people who went to like Harvard or Yale or something, I don't even know which one, but are always like, oh, I went to school in Boston. And then you're supposed to ask, well, which school?
That's Harvard. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell
Yeah,
I have
because
a lot of
nobody-
those friends.
Because if you say I went to school in Boston, you didn't go to Harvard because you would specify you went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Well,
Or, I mean,
always
you got
thought that the people
MIT.
who went there would have say that so that you have to ask, so that they have to like.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, which one? Oh. Well,
Like,
because
without
Princeton
bragging.
is in New Jersey, so it's not like, yeah, I went to school in New Jersey.
Right.
Right.
Well, I guess in Boston, you've got Harvard, you got MIT, and then you've
Yeah,
got like
BU,
BU.
Boston, yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of colleges in one city.
Yeah. So Jamie does apologize about the night before.
I was having a rough time.
Yeah.
But while he's apologizing, then Cecilia, who was in the class that Ella
Was the mystery blonde in the car?
no,
Oh no, no, it was a different one.
no, she was
Mm.
not.
I really thought she was the whole time.
No,
Huh.
no. They explain it at the end of the middle.
Yeah, their like relationship.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, but I thought like I know their relationship. I really thought she was who was in the car with him.
no, there was like maybe a couple paragraphs that explained it.
Yeah.
Oops.
So Ella has nicknamed Cecilia English Rose. She barrels back into the room and it seems like they know each other somehow. And it's like, I can switch out of this class if it's too distracting. So, like, we don't know what their relationship is quite
No.
yet and how they know each other.
And I think Ella thought it was an ex-girlfriend
She does.
at first.
Side note, can we take a trip to Oxford to go to the Bodleian?
All these like places they went, I was like, oh, I just kind of pictured Harry Potter. Like,
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember me telling you about the show, A Discovery of Witches?
yes.
So there's a large part in like the first 2 episodes of that series where she's at the Bodleian and it just looks incredible. It has every book ever printed in the UK since 1611. No big deal.
Do a little Schmindel Schmund Limited field trip.
Damn right.
Love it. Let's do it.
Head to the bod. I think that's how they say it. And while they're
Fish
at
and chips in
at
the
the
okay.
Bodleian Library, and Jamie finds Ella and is like, "I need to see you in his rooms because they say things differently." It really means his office, but scandalous.
That's so crazy. So funny.
But she does learn that like there is like a whole bedroom attached to it. Like
Right? There is. So she heads there and she overhears Jamie arguing with an older man. Jamie ends up like kicking him out, and we kind of get the impression that it's related. It might be his dad. But then she walks in, Jamie acts like nothing happened, and she wrote a great paper, but completely missed the point.
Yeah, she was talking more like factual, and she wanted to like more talk about how the way it made you feel. Which I've never been a fan of poetry, and currently I'm actually teaching it, but like it's like haiku and silly things like that, cinquain poem, like acrostic. I never understood the multiple meanings and all that stuff. I'm a very literal person. That's why
You're not
math
an
has
emo
always been my
kid.
favorite subject. So, I would be terrible at this.
Yeah, probably me too.
I feel like this is what us emo kids did.
You know. So he makes her read a poem passage and like, how does it make you feel? And her response is lonely. And I think the quote was that in death, love is all there is. I was like, oh, so sad.
And they have a little moment, and then Cece walks in.
Again, on them having a moment. So she's just really
Omnipresent.
Yeah. So Ella's at the pub. Oh, so that was the other thing. When we go to England, I want to go to all the pubs.
Yes.
So Dan, when they went to London, the guy at the pub that is serving them drinks, you're drinking warm beer, it's about all they have.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "This building is older than your country."
So true. So Ella's there with C and Cece's there, and Cece's friends are just like not the nicest people.
They're so condescending to
Oh.
Ella, and they make just these really shitty comments about, generalizing Rhodes scholars.
Yeah, and this Ian guy keeps hitting on her, and like he's like actually kind of like
He's drunk.
yeah,
Such a
He's
jerk,
like-
though.
a jerk. Yeah.
So she ends up punching him and then leaves and it's like storming down the sidewalk and
Of course, who does she run into?
Jamie, obviously, and he takes her to a real pub.
So, and then she wakes up the next day naked in his bed.
By the cleaning
Working
lady,
for
that
bed.
was so funny.
Oh yeah.
I know. And then her cleaning lady who comes in every morning, like comes in and Jamie's there and they both clarify that neither of them want a relationship.
So they're just gonna be like in an open sort of thing. But okay, so
Famous
this was
last
so
words.
funny. This was always so funny to me because I felt like they were like this banter going back and forth. And of course they had the moment. And then the next thing I know, I read the next page and she's naked. And I'm like, what?
I know. I think she might have blacked out.
Yeah.
You don't wake up the
Like,
next
that's what I
morning.
thought. I was like, did she black out? And it's so funny because when you're used to reading like books with a lot of spice, and then it's like, what happened?
Where did it go? I'm missing something here.
Did I skip a few pages?
No, you didn't. We did not get the spice. We just got the
Talking about it.
Yeah.
The after spice.
Yeah. So then we get 6 weeks of secret rendezvous all over campus, including in the library and bell tower and just weird crap.
But no dates, no sleeping over.
No.
It's just,
Schmacks.
yep.
That's it. However, then Jamie takes her on like a date on a canoe,
And
basically.
she's like shocked about it. He's like, what are you doing tomorrow night? And she's like, we don't do this.
Wait, we
But-
can make plans ahead of time.
So they go on this boat canoe and he brings hot chocolate and she kind of like has a
Freaks out.
moment because we find out that's how her dad died. He went to like go get her hot chocolate for her birthday and got in a car accident and died.
Yep. He slips on black ice.
Yeah. So they start opening up to each other
Yeah.
a little bit. And Jamie invites her to his house the next day and she had never been to his house.
So yeah, he has this townhouse.
Like,
And
super large is what my impression
yeah, I know. I
was.
just thought a townhouse. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's
He
like a mansion.
inherited from his aunt. So I'm starting like, okay, this guy's got money. Where is this coming from?
And so Ella stays the night. And they run into Jamie's old school friends, and it's like really uncomfortable and awkward. And they invite Jamie and Ella to join stag party. And Jamie's like, no, we can't go.
At this point, I'm like, there's something suspicious going on.
Yeah. And he's like, I have to leave. And he like and she's like, what's going on? And he mentions that his brother is getting treatment for,
Multiple myeloma.
which is blood cancer.
Yes.
And Jamie out of nowhere just was like, I need to go for a break. Like, we need to be on a break. And so they break up ish.
Well, but he asked for a break, but they're not done, and he clarifies that.
Yes, he just needs some time.
So she's like, okay, fine. Like we agreed, to be truthful and never lie. And if we ever, either of us didn't want to do this, and we would tell each other. So she really respected that. And she was like, okay, we're not done, but like, I'll talk to you later, I guess.
Yeah. And she doesn't know. And so, of course, she sees Connor,
Naturally, this is DC Rhodes Scholar.
the
Guy.
American.
Day one.
And he invites her to, because it's Thanksgiving, an American turkey dinner. And she goes.
Well,
Um,
not quite yet. He invites her.
Yes,
We
he
haven't
invites
gotten
her,
there yet.
yeah.
So then Ella tries to surprise Jamie at the library because she's on the phone with him and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm at the library." And it just happens to be one she can't really get into, but she sneaks in anyway. And he's like, "Oh, I'm in this section of the library." So she goes there. He's not there.
Yeah.
And she's so pissed because she told Jamie never to lie if he just wanted to end things. So she's so mad.
So she gets drunk because, every girl would know she's mad at their
Pocket drunk.
significant.
Connor's there. She runs with Sophie at the stag party. Sophie then tells Ella Jamie's brother Oliver is already dead.
Yep.
So Jamie lied again. So she just is pissed and storms over to his house.
Because every drunk person, what they do is when they're mad at the significant other, they get drunk and then
You confront them.
you confront them when you're
You're
hammered.
the best conversations in that situation. Dang.
I was actually watching this movie and it's with Jenna Ortega, I think the actress from Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
It's called Winter, Spring. No, winter, spring, summer, fall. And they break up because she was hammered.
Nice.
So it made me think of that.
Nice. So she gets to Jamie's and she sees a nurse, and the first thing she sees in her drunk brain is this woman dressed in a slutty nurse costume. She's not actually dressed in a slutty nurse costume. She's in like a normal nurse because it is a nurse with Jamie and an IV pole, and Jamie basically yells at Ella to get out, and then he follows her, says he's sorry. And he turns out he's also has multiple myeloma, just like his brother, and he started
Yes.
chemo 6 weeks ago.
But it's not genetic.
No, it's just awful luck.
Unclear. I'm sure there's some familial thing because they weren't twins.
No.
No, his brother was older.
His brother was older, yeah.
Unclear at this situation. It's suspicious, but myeloma is not really well known for happening in people this young. Number one, it's usually a much older population, and two, being genetic. It's not
Yeah.
common.
My grandmother passed away from melanoma.
Yeah.
Or myeloma.
Yeah, it's bone cancer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens quite often in the elderly, not that often. They're really, really good at treating it though.
Yeah.
These days. We've diagnosed it in some young people that had to get bone marrow transplants, but not that often.
Yeah.
So she says some very hurtful things, and she tells Jamie after he says, "I have myeloma. Well, it's a good thing I don't love you," and she just leaves.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. And she ends up going to Thanksgiving dinner with Connor, and she
Thinks about Jamie the entire
time and leaves in the middle of dinner to go to Jamie's.
And so Jamie tells her everything. He's had that Oliver passed away from it, that he's already had treatments, he's already gone into remission, then it came back.
He had a bone marrow transplant,
Yeah.
and then it's active again.
And
And he found out the cancer was active again the day he almost hit Ella. So he went and found a pretty blonde trying to forget about it.
So Ella stays with JB. And they kind of just agree that they're dating and that it's Christmas time is coming, and she was going to go on a trip
all around all of Europe, and they agree that they'll
like
go
2 weeks.
together because he's going to finish chemo right before that.
Yes, but that he's they have she wants to do it her way, without spending his money, and he's like, but
Absolutely not.
I get some.
And then we find out that Cece was Oliver's fiance. I did not see that happening.
So
That was
I didn't either, but I still thought she was the blonde from
But then we go to the ball that Ella's friends really wanted to go to, and it turns out, Jamie's loaded and he can get them tickets because his parents were hosting it.
Yeah, they're the co-chairs.
So they go. His mother is lovely. His dad is the worst.
Okay, so I don't know if his dad is the worst or if they just have this weird.
His dad cares.
Yes, his dad just cares so much and doesn't know how to show it.
Yeah, at all. And well, his dad doesn't respect Jamie's own autonomy and his own decisions on what he's going to do with his own body.
Yeah, but he also lost a son.
Yes, yes. So Jamie's chosen not to do another round of stem cells, and his dad is not happy. And Ella ends up dancing with his dad, and it just does not go well at all. But she
Yeah.
doesn't tell Jamie about their conversation.
Yes, no, she kind of keeps it to herself.
Mhm.
So they leave for their trip, their European trip, and he passes out while driving.
While driving.
That was like a really scary scene.
Yeah, she somehow gets them to the road, side of the road safely, calls an ambulance, and then has to drive his Aston Martin, which is a stick shift, on the opposite side of the road behind the ambulance to the hospital.
So
I could
it
never do that.
didn't occur to me until reading this part that like if you sit on the other side of the car,
The
you're
gears
shifting with
are
your
on
left
different hands.
hand.
Yeah.
Is it still that first gear is closest to you, or are the gears still in the same order?
Ooh, I would assume it's still in the same order because we read left to right.
Okay, that makes
I don't
sense.
know. I guess we have to go to London and rent a
Rent a
stick
stick
shift.
Yeah, try it. No,
When we went to Ireland, I drove and everything
Wow.
was on the other side. It was the cutest little orange car. Um, everything was on the other side. It wasn't hard, it just required a little bit more concentration.
I am so
But-
impressed with you right now, Amity.
It wasn't too bad.
was it easier because the driver's on the other side?
Yeah?
Because like I feel like it would be easier if I'm on the passenger side, right? Because I know
Like if you
that
were still in the
The
same
driver's always going to be at the median. Like,
yeah, exactly. So like the cars in England, like the driver is where the passenger is here.
yeah, but then you're
Mhm.
driving on the opposite side.
Yeah, so but I was like, is it easier because you're like in the passenger seat, so you kind of realize it.
I don't understand what you're saying because, like, so when we drive, we're on the left side of the car, but that's where the median is.
So when you're
And
driving
it's the same thing on the other.
other side. So I said, is it easier because like you're on this side, so you kind of know like, oh, hey, I need to be on the middle.
I don't know. I guess
I will
it's
say the
same
hardest
thing.
part
Did it backwards?
was keeping the car centered in the lane.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like making the turns or whatever. It's just normally when I keep the car centered in the lane, there's a lot of room on the right and not as much room on the left from where I'm sitting. But
Yeah.
now I need a lot of room on the left and not as much room on the right. And that was the part that I kept like, because we did some highway driving. We drove from one side of the country to the other. And that was the part that was the most like, remember in my head.
I think it would be turning for me that I would be like
Yeah,
a little like
probably.
Turning wasn't bad.
confused
I
on.
didn't like being in the city. Like the hardest part was actually driving in Dublin because there's one-way streets and there's buses and there's pedestrians and it was just a lot going on. And parking was weird. But parking a car that's not yours is usually weird
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
until you feel confident. But it was not at no point was it like or like I was scared. It wasn't undoable. It was just
It's like different.
it was different. Anyways,
So we get back to the hospital and Jamie has severe anemia and she's like Ella's like beating herself up because she didn't realize it. She saw little signs but she didn't want to kind of like open her eyes to it. Jamie's parents show up and Jamie agrees to do the trial but doesn't want his father visiting or interfering for 3 months. So 3 months go by. Ella's basically like living with Jamie while he's going through this
His
trial.
primary caregiver, he had a lot of side effects.
Yeah, and so he has good days, bad days. And Ella's on the phone with Janet, the campaign
Janet is the candidate.
candidate.
And
Yes.
it turns out she's 4 months pregnant with the boyfriend's baby.
And so she's like, I'm done.
But Ella convinces her to still do the final debate to get the nomination.
on behalf of
and she-
women everywhere, I loved her speech.
I know. And
Yeah.
there was this so her thing was, you know, the other candidate is a guy, and he's going to say, well, you can't, you're pregnant. And Ella's recommendation was just keep asking him why you can't, because then he's going to have to say some really shitty things about
Mhm.
women. And it worked. It was
So,
awesome.
it's Ella's birthday, and Ella convinces Jamie that the only thing she wants for her birthday is to go to his house with his parents
In Scotland.
in Scotland.
He
And
walked
so
into
Jamie,
that one. He's like, you could go anywhere for your birthday. She's like, really? Anywhere? It's like, yeah, we'll go anywhere. And she's like,
He walked
okay.
right into that.
Yep.
Because her goal here, because at this point in the book, she's like, well, I'm leaving and I can't leave with this family in shambles. I have to like patch them back together
Right,
before
yeah.
I can feel fine with leaving them. So they get there and it turns out Jamie actually surprised her
yeah, with a
and like
little
got
surprise
her got her friends out there and had a surprise birthday party. Um,
And during it, she gets a call from Gavin and Janet, and they want to appoint her deputy political director.
She did not
Because
agree.
Janet won the nomination.
Yes.
She did not agree though. But then Jamie's parents give her this beautiful like family heirloom ring.
That
It
they said
turns
was worthless.
out, right? Although his great grandmother was Carolina Vanderbilt.
I thought this was a little strange.
I
I was like,
know.
this is a little,
Well,
little too
the
soon.
mom is like aristocracy. She's some lady of the whatever, like a duchess or I don't even know. So there is certainly some family money.
Oh, yeah. And so Jamie and his dad finally have a talk in the cellar and kind of lash everything out.
It was so sad, this part. I mean, she did a very good job kind of writing
This
how
was
the
an
dad
emotionally intense part.
it was.
Yes.
So she did a great job of like portraying a father who has already lost a son and doesn't want to lose his other son. And then, but the communication here was fantastic.
Finally. So,
Ella then wakes up the next morning. She had snuck into his room because they weren't allowed to sleep in the same room, but she wakes up to find Jamie just so ill. He won't even wake up. So she like screams, and his parents come in and they end up like flying him via helicopter to the hospital.
yeah.
He's
And he's in a coma.
diagnosed with pneumonia. And then all the friends stop by. Cecilia shows up. And Jamie's parents kind of pull her aside and include her in the discussion of like, okay, if he's not going to recover, what do we do?
But it's crazy because at this point, the doctors tell her
Not
and
yet.
Oh, not yet.
So they decide like they'll let him go if he doesn't recover, but then the doctor comes out and says like the cancer is in remission, and then he wakes up the next day.
Yeah, so but like while he's still in a coma, Ella finds her birthday gift from Jamie, which was something deeply personal, which is a book of poems he wrote her.
And she had kind of encouraged him to write his own poems instead of just study them.
Yeah.
And they're all about her.
Yeah.
So,
oh, it was
so
so
good.
cute.
And a train pass for her to go travel Europe.
Oh, yeah. And Janet wins the nomination. Ella tells him that she's not coming. She's going to be staying with Jamie. And Jamie wakes up from the coma. And 6 weeks later, it's them traveling. Okay, so, but like when it started, it sounded like he had died.
What do you mean?
Like, I
Yes,
think.
because she said she talked about him like in the past tense or something.
Yes.
Like 6 weeks later, I thought for certain he was dead, and I got a little upset, and then he wasn't dead, and I was like, "Hooray!"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
I need
weird.
more. I need like I need more.
I know. It was, hold on, let me see if I can figure out where was the exact words where I was like, oh yeah, I'll always remember Jamie this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, but it never talks about him dying, so
I mean, it's going to happen.
eventually, but he's,
Yeah.
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 How does this, I've never, maybe Lauren, your expertise can, I never understood this. All right, so when you're in remission, you do not have cancer.
So you don't have active cancer that's rowing.
Okay.
You know, depending on what type of cancer it is, you can go fully into remission and need no further treatment.
Okay.
This type of cancer in remission, you need maintenance therapy
Okay.
that
Okay.
will maintain you in remission. You know, so it depends on which type of cancer and if it needs maintenance therapy.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, you know, this disease in his specific situation, there is no curative treatment. It's just kind of
Like keeping
delaying
the.
Although people can live with myeloma for years and years and
Okay,
years and
okay.
years.
So I'll be bawling, crying during this movie
Oh, most likely, yeah. I'll be right there with you.
with my tissues. So,
Amity, will you be watching?
I will. I will.
so
I'm excited to watch the movie.
Do a Zoom session and
Yeah.
watched at the same time.
it started
Yes.
at the exact same time.
Uh-huh.
With
Favorite
the-
characters?
Oh man. I really liked her.
Yeah, me
I
too.
liked
Yeah.
Ella. I liked Jamie. I liked them all.
I know. The main characters are great.
Her friends were phenomenal. And they were like so welcoming to her so quickly.
I just really enjoyed them all.
Yeah.
It was a good book.
Yeah, the dad
Mhm.
redeemed himself at the end.
Yes, the mom was so fun.
I know. Themes and tropes. What do we have here?
This was like a
Mm.
serious grown-up book, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I would
I'm
say maybe
proud
a
of
little
it.
forced proximity since he was her teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher student.
Teacher student.
I would say
Mhm.
professor, grad student.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Make Amity feel better about it. What else?
Although I'm a professor now teaching grad students, and absolutely not.
Um, you know what? I know we spent some time in the last episode talking about how annoyed we were with like wealthy people. I did not feel this way about
Oh.
these wealthy people. And
He did not flaunt the wealth.
no, they seemed normal. But
I also
also,
think
like,
because
if
he
you're
had
gonna go to London
cancer.
and fall in love,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
do
I also
it with
think
somebody
because
with
he had,
lineage. Like, that's the
Yeah.
trope. I don't know exactly what it is, but like,
And you know, when someone has cancer, you kind of
Can't
let a
hit
lot of the other
little
things
stuff
that would
go.
annoy you go
right?
to the
I feel like
wayside.
vacation boyfriend, study
Yeah.
abroad boyfriend. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, rating. Amity, what are you giving this?
why do I always go first? 9.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Okay, I'll do 8.5 too.
I almost said 8.5.
Well, you decided to be
8.2 thirds. Oh no. Well,
How is that?
sorry, it's
8.66.
8.66666.
Okay.
I gave the
2/3. I got it.
I gave
Okay.
the fraction. The math in me.
Yes. Well, that's a very high rating for
I
us.
know, we did
know.
it, guys. We found a grown-up book we enjoyed.
I really enjoyed this
That
book.
had
I think I texted you all like a third of the way through, and I
Yeah.
was like, Steph, good choice.
I also love the actress playing Ella in this, Sophia Carson. She was in
She's
Purple Heart.
She's the Netflix star.
I know. But she's not like, you know how sometimes you have like a Netflix star and you're like, they are a terrible actress.
She's actually good. Did you watch
Yes.
The Lifeless?
Yes.
So
Yes.
sweet.
And she was in that airport movie too.
Ooh, I don't know if I watched that one.
I can't think of it. Oh, it's also on Netflix, but she's been on. But like, you know, on Hallmark, you're watching the movies and
Well,
you're
those
like,
are cringy on purpose.
yes, exactly. But I really like her, so I'm
I know
excited
you
for
love
this.
Hallmark, Amity.
I don't dislike
Eh,
it. Fold my laundry to it.
There you go.
there you go. Yeah,
Is there a way to watch Hallmark on one of like the major streaming services?
probably.
I don't
I
know.
wonder if Amazon Prime sometimes will have Hallmark movies,
Oh, okay.
Amazon Prime has their own,
like
version.
of it.
yes.
Okay.
They're on like The Baker and the Banker.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll watch the season 3 of Summer I Turned Pretty and then be really upset, and then I'll watch this movie right after to make
Then we
me
can
feel
sit down
better.
and cry together. Yes.
Because I am not looking forward to the season 3 of that.
I am.
Why?
Because I know who she ends up with, and
She's
Team
not happy about
Jeremiah.
yeah, and it's not.
You can see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I never read the third book just because I didn't like it. I like, if I don't like who the person ends up with, I'm like, no, I'm not reading this.
I mean, I get it. It's fine.
So, but okay, so our next book is going to be a little football romance. We're going back to sports, which is going to be Married by Devaney Perry.
Yeah. She's all of her books I love.
Okay, I haven't read any of hers.
She's got this one romance, like kind of a little suspense that's fantastic. And then I've read the first book in this series, which was good. And then she just came out with a romantasy book, and it is
Oh,
hitting the top charts of the books.
Lauren, maybe this is the book that will bring you out of your reading slump.
Yes, I hope so. I have it downloaded for my flight, but it's also on Hoopla audiobook for free, so I might do the audiobook.
Oh,
Maybe. I can't decide.
well, we'll find out.
Come back and be like, I read nothing.
we will find out on our next episode. And we hope you'll listen to that. And as you've listened to this one, we want to thank you for being part of our reviews, rants, and ramblings. If you also read this book and you review it anywhere on Amazon or Goodreads, please include that Schmindel Unlimited sent you. And if you wouldn't mind a quick review on your podcast platform, we would be forever grateful. Have a great weekish, and we can't wait to read, review, rant, and ramble about the next book with you.